Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the player ratings for the game between Collingwood and Adelaide. The Pies get up 78-68 in what was a little bit of a snooze fest, but it was the assignment in the wet weather, and you just got to play the weather conditions, and that's what both teams really did in the end. They didn't want to take risks through the corridor. They played safe. But one team did it just a little bit better, and one team was probably a little bit more inaccurate than they would have liked it. I guess according to expected score, the all hail champion data, they had the expected score for Adelaide at 78 and Collingwood at 83.9. So we were still expected to win, despite Adelaide's inaccuracy. And had they been accurate, they probably wouldn't have got the job done. They wouldn't have got the chocolates. They also struggled scoring from stoppage. It's something they are not great at this year. Turnover has been their one wood, and we pumped them by 4 goals in that stat as well. So we really just beat them in at their own game in the end in certain ways. And I think yesterday's win is largely off the back of our back six. And it's ironic because throughout the lead up into the week, a lot of people and fans were worried about Phil Thorpe and Taylor Walker and Darcy Fogarty. I mean, Fog still had 4 goals, but to a larger extent, they didn't really have the impact that maybe a lot of people thought they would have collectively. Oh, excuse me. I'm going to start with Josh Daicos, because this guy had 29 touches, 10 contested possessions, 9 of them being ground ball gets, and 11 intercept possessions, which is almost a game high. And there was a certain player from Collingwood who just managed to eclipse that. We'll talk about him right after Josh Daicos. But he just he plays this game yesterday like it's a 23-degree day, no cloud in sight. He was just so clean. He just mopped up everything in the back half, reset us, and launched us for attack. He ends up having 5 score involvements, 2 score launches, which sort of just talks to what I was talking about just then. Kicks on the left, kicks on the right, it doesn't matter. Like 29 touches off the half-back flank. It's at a really good clip at 75%. It's everything you want and more from Josh Daicos, and it's everything we hoped for and more with Josh Daicos off the half-back flank. And then this is why we talk about Dan Houston sort of unhinging players like Josh Daicos off the half-back flank. We don't need Dan Houston to have 25 and 4 or 6 score involvements a game, because Josh Daicos is doing the heavy lifting when it comes to that side of things. So for yesterday's game, I'm going to give Josh Daicos a 9.5 out of 10. 9.5 out of 10. It's almost the perfect game for a half-back flanker. He was probably just missing a goal to put the cherry on top. And then in the final line in the back line, Jeremy Howe, like, finally people are starting to recognize and talk about how good this guy really is. He is the most important defender for our club right now, and probably has been for the last, I'd say, nearly 12 months. He's been the most important defender. I mean, it doesn't even look like we're missing Darcy Moore when he's absent, and it's because of players like Jeremy Howe. 17 touches, game high, 13 intercept possessions, 4 intercept marks, and 3 of them were in the first quarter. So just sort of steadied the ship really early for us. I don't want this guy to retire. I really don't. And he's so comfortable with the ball as well. Like, he's taking most of our kick-ins because we trust him. He was operating at a 94% clip when using the ball. So defensively, he was impenetrable, and offensively, he's a weapon going forward. He's not scared to take that kick where it needs to go, even if there is a risk for turnover. He's the guy that has some heavy balls and is willing to take on difficult kicks. And we love that about Jeremy Howe. Forget about the spectacular marks, and he's the full package. I really hope he goes for another season beyond 2025. Jeremy Howe for me also gets a 9. He gets a 9 for sure. Really happy with that. And we're going to give a lot of love to the back six today. So we'll continue with that trend. Billy Frampton, 14 touches, 1 intercept mark. I mean, it doesn't really read anything too crazy, but it's the comfortability that you see Billy Frampton operating within right now. And it's crazy to think that the same player 12 months ago, we didn't think he belonged at AFL level. We know there was instability with what role he was playing in the team. Our team wasn't playing well. He went from defense to forward, and then back to back the defense again. And that sort of screwed with him. This year, we worried all pre-season, all off-season. Who's our next key defender going to be? Who's going to be Darcy Moore's dance partner? Who's going to... Yeah. Is it Reeve McInnes? Reeve McInnes does his ACL. All right, well, fuck. Here we go. Billy Frampton comes in. I'm like, all right, sweet. First couple of games, we're like, all right, yeah. Let's just... We'll take it step by step. It's Billy Frampton. He's due for something, right? And we haven't seen it yet. I think it's an element of maybe maturity, understanding that this was potentially his last dance in the AFL side. So there's that need to perform. Otherwise, he probably doesn't see the AFL field again. The team's playing extremely well. So he's typically in a really good position to defend when we're in our forward half. Not giving away silly free kicks anywhere near as much as what he was or what he has done in the past. He's actually quite competent by foot these days, which is, again, it's not something he's always been known for, in my opinion. I'm going to give... Look, he didn't have a massive game, but just giving him some flowers over the course of what he's been able to achieve over the last, 5 or 6 games since he's come in, or 7 or 8 games perhaps. I'm going to give Billy Frampton a 7 out of 10. Just a modest 7 out of 10, but we know how good he's really been. Moving to another defender, Braden Maynard. 24 touches, the captain, by the way. Did you see his reaction post-game? I'm hoping that's a sign suggesting he doesn't want to leave. And I'm hoping whoever needed to see that at the Collingwood Football Club saw that, and they help him sign the contract, whatever needs to be done, right? 24 disposals, 7 contested possessions, 6 intercept possessions, 5 score involvements, 4 tackles, 15 pressure acts. So it's a really good captain's game. He's a bull. He's a backline bull. He's finding the footy more this year. I'm telling you, Dan Houston is helping unhinge these players. So much homework goes into Dan Houston and Josh Daicos. Now Braden Maynard is seeing the footy a little bit more. Jeremy Howe's seeing the footy a little bit more. It's just, that's what you get from Dan Houston without Dan Houston needing to dominate his own game. Oh, the Braz. And he had to play what? He had to play tall at times. He did all right. No dramas. 7 contested possessions as well, by the way. 6 inside 50s, which is why he has 5 score involvements to his name. Very, very impressive. I'm going to give Bruzzy, it's one of his best games in a while when it comes to the stats. I'd say we'll give him an 8 out of 10. So we've done Jeremy Howe, Josh Daicos, we've done Billy Frampton, we've done Braden Maynard. Let's talk about... Let's go Beau McCreary again, because he's always an interesting topic, isn't he? 12 touches, 6 inside 50s. Did he get his goal? He didn't get his goal, did he? Did he get his goal? He did. Okay. Yeah, he did. That's right. He did get his goal. He had a shot on a boundary, missed that, and then he had a shot from a free kick from that chase down tackle, which changes a lot. And he was actually given the opportunity to feature in the midfield for 25% of the game, particularly through the centre bounce. 8 score involvements. He's that type of player who just gets his kicking efficiency just a little bit better. His vision, his composure in certain moments, and he can be the Goey. That's his upper ceiling. He can be the Goey. Seriously, he can. Maybe not for as long, but there is certainly a patch where he could be a JDG, and that's what we saw. 6 tackles, 24 pressure acts, by the way. What a man. And we just found a way to get him in the midfield. The midfield mix was actually quite interesting. You saw Nick Daicos, Ned Long, Pendlebury, Jack Crisp got some midfield time, thank goodness. Beau McCreary, Lockie Sullivan, Mason Cox, the ruckman. Jamie Elliott featured. Still side bottom was, I think, because Jack Crisp had that game. I think Fly's like, all right, let's steal. You play wing today, and that's fine. I think when you have someone who's typically not in the midfield in Jack Crisp, and then he goes in and has a really good game in the midfield, I think you've got to take someone's time, and I'm willing to cop that. But by the way, for Beau McCreary, I'll give him it's an 8 out of 10 for the role he played. But there's so much room for improvement, and I mean that in a really good way for Beau. Really excited to see where he takes his career. But that is the player ratings for today, and until next time, go Pies.